What if the person who thought she still had control is actually the one about to lose everything? That is the feeling hanging over days of our lives as we head into the week of March 30th through April 3rd. Salem may be moving toward one of those major turning points where one lie begins to collapse, one secret becomes harder to contain, and one relationship may finally shift from possibility into something much more real. So let's break it all down, because this may be one of those weeks where the emotional fallout matters just as much as the twists themselves. Let's start with Sophia, because she may be walking straight into the most dangerous moment of her own storyline. The adoption finalization hearing is already emotional by nature, so Sophia barging in could instantly throw the room into chaos. At first glance, it may look like a mother making one last desperate attempt to be heard before it is too late. In another situation, that kind of interruption might even win sympathy. But here, the timing may destroy her credibility instead of helping it. If Sophia suddenly reveals that she can speak and immediately argues that Johnny and Chanel should not raise Trey, then the court may not just hear her words, it may question her motive. That is the real problem. Because this is not simply about what Sophia says. It is about why she waited until this exact moment to say it. And that question could haunt everything. Judge Dabney may see right through the emotional performance if it feels too convenient. A revelation like this, delivered only when Sophia needs to stop the adoption, may come across less like honesty and more like manipulation under pressure. Instead of appearing maternal and sincere, Sophia may end up looking strategic, reactive, and deeply unreliable. She may enter the hearing believing she can regain control, but the interruption itself could become proof that she is acting out of desperation rather than truth. And if the judge starts to see Sophia as someone trying to weaponize timing and emotion, then this courtroom stunt may do more to strengthen Johnny and Chanel's position than destroy it. Sophia may think this is her power move. In reality, it could be the moment her whole case begins to fall apart. But the hearing may only be one part of Sophia's problem. The bigger threat may come from Rachel Black, because Rachel could be the person who turns suspicion into exposure. Once accusations begin flying over Holly's tampered skincare supplement, Rachel may be forced to admit one crucial detail. She only delivered the gift because Sophia asked her to. That single confession could change everything, because it links Sophia directly to a scheme that may have seemed murky until now. Up to this point, Rachel may have believed she was doing something small, harmless, or at least not fully understood. But the second she realizes she was used to help hurt Holly, the emotional impact could be immediate. This is where guilt and betrayal may collide. Rachel may not only feel terrible about her role in the situation, she may feel sick over the fact that Sophia manipulated her into becoming part of it. That emotional shift is what makes Rachel so dangerous to Sophia now. Because once someone realizes they were used, silence becomes much harder to maintain. Rachel may no longer want to protect Sophia. She may want distance from her. She may want the truth out. And if she starts pointing directly at Sophia, then secrecy disappears. The whole situation stops being vague suspicion and becomes a direct accusation with emotional weight behind it. Because once Rachel speaks, Sophia may lose the one thing that has protected her so far: the ability to stay half-hidden while other people carry the fallout. And once Sophia's name is fully out in the open, Holly may be the one who makes the fallout even more explosive. Because if Holly learns Sophia was behind the supplement tampering, this will not feel like ordinary drama. It will feel deeply personal. This is not just about someone causing trouble from a distance. This is about betrayal coming from someone Holly once trusted. A former friend crossing a line is always more painful than an enemy making a move, because friendship creates emotional access. It creates history. It creates the expectation of safety. If Holly realizes Sophia used that history as cover while plotting against her, then the emotional damage could hit much harder than the act itself. Holly may not just be angry that Sophia targeted her. She may be enraged by the cruelty behind it, by the deception, by the fact that Rachel got pulled into the mess, by the realization that someone she once considered close was willing to manipulate people and hide behind others while the damage spread. It leads to the kind of confrontation where everything buried underneath finally comes out: resentment, disbelief, humiliation, and rage all at once. And if that happens, Sophia may find herself cornered from every direction. The judge may doubt her. Rachel may expose her. Holly may come after her with full force. Because this is no longer one problem she can talk her way out of. It is a chain reaction. And once too many people in Salem start connecting the same dots, the lie usually stops being a lie, and becomes a disaster. While Sophia's mess may be exploding in public, EJ may be facing a much quieter kind of danger, and in some ways, that may be even more serious. Because this storyline is no longer just about secrecy. It is about pressure building inside a situation that is becoming harder to manage. EJ is still trying to keep Lexi hidden until her reawakening is complete, and that already suggests how unstable this whole arrangement has become. When EJ feels forced to control every detail, issue demands, and keep tightening his grip, it usually means he knows the truth is closer to slipping out than he wants to admit. If EJ keeps leaning on her, forcing her to cooperate, or expecting her to stay calm under impossible pressure, then cracks may begin to show. Paulina may start acting differently. More tense, more distracted, more guarded. And those kinds of changes are exactly what people like Abe and Theo are likely to notice. Abe and Theo may not know the full story, but suspicion does not need the full truth to become a threat. Once family members start sensing that something is off, the pressure shifts. The secret is no longer something EJ is managing alone. It becomes something other people are slowly circling, questioning, and emotionally reacting to. EJ may believe that as long as he stays firm, he can keep everything contained. But Salem's secrets rarely fall apart all at once. They weaken through stress, through strange behavior, through too many people noticing too many small inconsistencies. So this may be the week EJ realizes that keeping the truth hidden is becoming far more difficult than simply commanding silence. Now let's talk about Shawn and Jada, because this may be the week their connection starts feeling less accidental and much more inevitable. On the surface, Shawn moving into Jada's apartment during his recovery sounds practical. It sounds temporary. It sounds like a simple arrangement built around healing and support. But in a soap, those setups are rarely ever just practical. Because living together changes the emotional rhythm between two people. It creates intimacy in ways that dramatic declarations often do not. The small moments start to matter more. Shared space, daily routines, quiet conversations, the vulnerability of being seen at your weakest. Those are the things that can deepen a bond before either person fully acknowledges what is happening. The chemistry between Shawn and Jada has already been there. What this living situation may do is remove the distance that kept those feelings under control. Once they are in each other's space every day, emotional comfort may start blending with romantic tension in a way that feels harder to ignore. Because the shift may not happen through one huge moment immediately. It may happen through accumulation. Through care becoming attachment. Through familiarity becoming emotional dependence. Through the kind of closeness that makes two people realize they are no longer just helping each other. They are becoming important to each other in a much deeper way. And on days of our lives, that kind of slow emotional transition is often where the strongest couples begin. At the same time, Alex may be entering a much more fragile emotional place than he wants anyone to see. Because what he is dealing with may not be loud jealousy at first. It may be something quieter, and therefore more dangerous. Watching Stephanie and Jeremy bond over their kidnapping ordeal could leave Alex feeling deeply out of place. And the reason this works dramatically is because his reaction is not irrational. Jeremy and Stephanie now share something emotionally intense, something built out of fear, survival, and vulnerability. Experiences like that create a connection that can feel immediate and hard to compete with. Even if he trusts Stephanie, even if he believes nothing inappropriate is happening, that does not erase the discomfort of watching someone else understand a part of her experience that he never can. The emotional closeness between Stephanie and Jeremy may make Alex feel shut out, and once that feeling begins to settle in, insecurity can grow very quickly. This may become about Alex questioning his place in the relationship, questioning whether he is enough, questioning whether love and commitment are always enough to protect a marriage when another person shares a kind of emotional intimacy he cannot access. Those doubts may stay internal at first, but that does not make them harmless. In fact, it may make them worse. Because unresolved insecurity has a way of shaping behavior before the person even admits what is wrong. Alex may try to stay composed. He may try to act supportive. He may try to convince himself that he is overthinking everything. But the more useless or excluded he feels, the more likely it is that those emotions start affecting the marriage in subtle but serious ways. And on days, internal pressure like that rarely stays internal for long. So when you put all of these stories together, this week in Salem feels like it is all about control slipping away. Sophia may lose control of her lies. EJ may lose control of his secret. Alex may lose control of his jealousy. And Shawn and Jada may lose control of feelings that have been building beneath the surface for a while now. Because the biggest moments may not just come from one shocking twist. They may come from the emotional pressure building underneath every storyline until someone gets exposed, someone gets confronted, someone gets suspicious, and someone finally gives in to what they can no longer deny. And in Salem, those are the weeks that tend to change everything.